Hi everybody, welcome back to another video. So this is more sort of a bike fit related video. I'm going to divide up the videos into sort of red captions and blue captions. The red captions being things that can be done on the bike in terms of like maintenance or DIY, and then the blue caption videos will be sort of more bike fit related issues and videos. So one of the things I often get asked about during a bike fit is which is the best pedal system, or which pedal system should I go for, or which shoes and pedal system should I go for. So what I'm going to outline here briefly is just various different pedal systems from different manufacturers, and a couple of shoes as well, basically road shoe and mountain bike shoe, and the benefits of them, or the pros on them, depending on the goals and rider comforts and injuries. So I guess the first one I will start with is your mountain bike pedal. So that's this, which is typically, it's made, most common you'll see from Shimano. It's a double-sided pedal, so you can click in on either side. And this is the cleat that goes with it. And there are different manufacturers that make these look. Time used to do them, Crank Brothers, but Shimano are the most common. And then this is a fairly new mountain bike shoe, quite snazzy actually, and it's seen a bit of use. But that's the mountain bike cleat, and it just gets screwed on there with a washer and then some countersunk screws. And that can move up and down and sideways, backwards, forwards and sideways like that. The benefit, of course, with this is that it's easy to click in on both sides because it's double-sided, as I said, and the ability to walk without sliding on concrete, or stopping for a coffee shop with wooden floors. You've got some nice rubber grip on the shoe, so you don't slip around. And also another benefit is that the cleat, because it's below the tread, it doesn't really get that worn. Now it will, with walking rocks and gravel drives and that sort of stuff, it will get a little bit of wear, but these cleats last for ages. They're made out of solid steel, so that's a good option. And I'll go through the reasons, but just a quick overview. The next one that you most commonly see probably in a bike shop or bike fit studio is the look pedal. Very, very common, arguably the first, if not the first company to make clipless pedals, which took the idea from ski bindings. And it's a great pedal. They come with, I don't know if you can see, yep, 3 different color cleats. Now I know this isn't a red look cleat before everyone bites me on YouTube. This is from a Garmin pedal, I believe it was, but that's basically what it looks like. And they do a zero float cleat, which is the black one, 4.5 degrees of float, and then 9 degrees of float. And the float is how much the shoe can move in the pedal once it's clicked in. So once it's clicked in, so the front goes in first, you push down on the back and it clicks in. And then the float is how much it can move side to side. So 0 degrees, 4.5 and 9 degrees. Then the other most common one I see is a Shimano pedal, which is that. It looks pretty much the same as a look pedal, pretty much the same weight. I think Look may do a slightly light one at their higher end. But basically they both use a 3-bolt cleat. So this is your Shimano cleat, this is your Look cleat. So it's got 3 bolts, 1, 2, 3. If I show you there, those are your 3 bolts. Now with Shimano, very similar to Look, they offer 3 different cleats. So they offer the yellow, which is 6 degrees, a blue, which is 2 degrees, and then they offer a red cleat, which is 0 degree float. So it's sort of opposite to Shimano. And the one thing with the yellow is it allows for float, but it also allows for a little bit of lateral movement like that. Whereas the blue cleats, which are these ones, it's just 2 degrees of float, no lateral, and then the red, of course, is fixed. So that's your look pedal. Then the last one, well, not the last, one that you don't see that many of is time pedals. And these guys have been around for ages and different iterations and that. This is a Time X Pro Carbon 10. Really light pedal. If those guys, for you guys that are weight weenies, Time produce some really nice light pedals. Their cleat is similar to the others. It uses 3 bolts. And on these ones, interesting enough, on Time and the Time cleats, it has free float. So what that means is once you click into the pedal, the float, so the sidewards movement like this, is free. Whereas with a Look or Shimano, once the cleat is actually clicked in, although like this one is 6 degrees, it's more restrictive in the float, so it's not free. So you have to like physically move your foot like this. Whereas this is, I don't want it to sound in a bad way, it's almost like on ice. Not quite like that, but yeah, it's free float. The nice thing with the Times is they're very easy to get into and out of. Really easy to get into is because once the foot exits or the cleat exits the pedal, the retaining spring stays open. So once you click back on, it's super easy to get. You just click in and this will close, the spring will close onto the cleat. One downside to the Time cleats is that they do wear a little bit quickly. They're made of a bit of a softer plastic, but they're great. And actually these are my personal shoes. I really like the Time pedals and how they work. And despite what I was saying about free float, if you have relatively good mechanics, your foot is pretty much fixed like that. It takes a little bit of getting used to, but your foot doesn't swim around on the pedal. Then the last one, which is, I haven't really done these in order. I would say generally I see the Look pedals the most, then Shimano a close second, and then the other pedal system which I'm going to mention is Speedplay or Wahoo Speedplay. That's discounting the mountain bike, which I see quite a bit of as well, but you don't really see Time pedals that often. Well, I don't in my studio anyway. That might be a marketing thing from Time. They've just been bought by SRAM not too long ago, so maybe you'll start seeing more of those. But the other one is, which unfortunately I don't have an example of, is a Speedplay pedal. Now, I don't know if you have seen these. That's the cleat, and that's the Speedplay pedal. So the advantage of this is it's similar to the mountain bike pedal in that it's double-sided. So nice and easy to click into. Now they do the ones for the time trialists and triathletes, they do a single-sided, which is an aerodynamic pedal, and it has sort of a golf ball effect on the underside, so it's single. But otherwise, it's double-sided, and the cleat for that, so the retention system is not built into the pedal like the others I've shown you. The retention system is actually built into the cleat. So, yeah, you can see it. This spring here and here, that's the retention system. So basically, the cleat bites onto the front and the back of the pedal. One advantage of Speedplay from a bike fit perspective, you could argue that it's the best bike fit pedal because it has a lot of lateral movement, so sideways, left and right. Also has a decent amount of forward aft. And you can dial the float from 0 degrees, so no float at all, to 15 degrees. And it's very much like the Time pedal where it's free float. And can be good for knees, can also be bad for knees as well, depending on the person and how they work. One of the benefits from this, I don't know if Wahoo's still doing it, which is actually shown. No, it's not this cleat, but they do an easy release cleat. So if it's a very light rider, or the rider's got knee problems, or they're just finding it hard to get in and out of pedals, this can be a good option because it makes it really easy to get in and out of the pedal because the spring tension is not very high. So that's your speed play pedal, or speed play cleat and speed play pedal. Since Wahoo's bought them, I think they've actually improved the design, because when it was owned by Speedplay, there wasn't this stainless steel ring here, so these pedals would wear really quickly, and there'd be a lot of rocking on it, which I had a lot of clients come in with knee pain. So we'll see the longevity of the spring ring, but I think that's a really good move by Wahoo. So, from a user perspective, if I have a new cyclist come in, or someone that's not confident on pedals, or they don't want to use clipless pedals, I would often say but they're interested in getting them, or maybe their riding partner or friends wants them to get onto clipless pedals. My general advice is to go and purchase the cheapest Shimano mountain bike clipless pedals. And the reason why I say the cheapest is because the spring tension is the least high. The higher you go up on the range, or the more expensive the range, the higher the spring tension gets. So you want the cheapest ones when you start off with, and they're super easy to get in and out of. Shimano also do a cleat, which is this one. They do another mountain bike. This is what's called I don't know if you can probably see that. It's a SH51 cleat, and this allows for the cleat and the shoe to disengage just by clicking in and out like that. But now they also do a SH56 cleat, which is the one I recommend to beginners. And that, the only way basically that you can't click out is straight up. Otherwise it would negate the feature of the clipless pedal. But you can actually click out at an angle like that. So for those that aren't confident, that's a really good choice. Because in an emergency, there's not much spring tension, and you can just click your foot out almost anyway except straight out. It's super easy. You can basically just push the back plate on one of those pedals if it's loosely done up with your thumb. So a really good option for beginners. So that would be cheapest Shimano mountain bike pedal and a Shimano SH56 cleat. With Shimano, this was a very commonly used pedal. Great pedal, great bearings. The one thing you can see is that on this one, they would wear. It would take a long time for this to wear, and this is a great example of a really worn one. And that could cause knee problems. But a great pedal nonetheless. But I think they've phased this out. And what they've done now to counter that wear is they've started introducing, well, I say start, it's been around for a long time, putting stainless steel plates or steel plates, and that stops the wear. But you can see even on these Shimano 105 ones, even the middle starts to wear, whereas the Ultegra and Dura-Ace have a plate there as well. And also you get some wear into here. But otherwise a great solid pedal, great bearings, super stable. Yeah, Shimano, I use Shimano and Time on my personal bikes, and this is probably my go-to recommendation in a bike fit for a road pedal. Look, I do recommend Look, but I prefer the Shimano platform if we're just talking about the big two pedal systems. I prefer the Shimano over the Look, because with the Look, there's always generally some play in the bearings from new, and once the shoe is clicked in, I'll actually try and click easy. You can sometimes get some rocking left to right. These ones aren't actually too bad, but the shoe can actually, it can rock instead of just having the play. Especially on the lower end ones, where Shimano you don't really get that. It's just a nice solid engagement. And the rocking that you would get is often the rocking that you would get on a Shimano pedal once it was already worn. So for that reason, I prefer the Shimano over the Look. But they're both good systems, and they both do pedals for if you're starting out that are really easy to get in and out of. Shimano kind of wish they still did this in a way. This is one of their earlier Clipless pedals, and the cleat was a standard cleat throughout the range, but the float was actually built into the pedal. I don't know if you can, you can see that. So that would be your float, and you could tie the float or adjust the float down by this little dial on the back here. So you could go right across to 0, and that won't move. Quite a nice little system. It was quite robust as well. So yeah, those are the different pedals. So for a beginner rider or someone that's just getting into clipless pedals, I'd recommend cheapest Shimano mountain bike pedal with the SH56 cleat. Nice and easy to get in and out of. Shimano pedals and Look pedals, pretty much the same. As mentioned, 3-bolt cleat, both easy to get in and out of. Speedplay, best bike fit pedal, and just a good pedal all round. You just don't see it that often. And then of course Time. I really like Time. And then the shoes.